What you got there?
This is a good one. Picture two bullets, each exactly the same distance from the ground, each released at the exact same second, except one bullet is dropped to the ground, the other is fired from a gun. The classic physics thought experiment states that both bullets will hit the ground at the same time.
Based on what theory?
Based on the theory that the bullet that's fired from the gun has no wings on it, no lift. Thus, gravity has the same effect on it as it does on the drop bullet, and thus, they hit the ground simultaneously.
It's an age-old physics fable that says a bullet dropped and a bullet fired simultaneously from the same height will hit the ground at the same time. But it's so darn difficult to test that no one's tried until now.
So what's the plan?
Well, I've been thinking about this one for so long. While I have seen this experiment elucidated in textbooks the world over, I don't think that anyone, anywhere, has ever tried it full size, full scale, with real bullets coming out of real guns. That's what we should do.
It sounds like it could be kind of tricky, actually. I think we should do some shop experiments before we start using any live rounds.
Fair enough, let's start.
So before going ballistic with the ballistics, Adam comes up with a more simple way to put that textbook theory to the test.
Well, this test is going to be comprised of two separate parts, and I am using a bullet of sorts. You may recognize the steel ball bearing as some of our ammunition from Steam Machine Gun. Part the first. I will be dropping this ball bearing from exactly table height, handily marked by this green line right here. I'll be filming its drop on a high-speed camera and counting how long it takes to get to the ground. Part the second. I'll be shooting this ball bearing from my little pinball shooter here, which I've marked out to be really accurate every time I shoot it, and I'm going to fire it across the same grid and measure how long it takes to reach the floor on the same high-speed camera. If this myth is true, those two times should be identical. Okay, here we go. This is the drop from table height in 3, 2, 1. Pretty simple.
Couldn't be simpler, but there's a lot more to this test than meets the eye.
Counting the frames of the high-speed shot, the marble took exactly 201 frames to get from my hand to the ground. And because we were filming at 500 frames per second, each frame is 2 milliseconds, which means that the total travel was 402 milliseconds. Or for those of you who love fractions, and come on, who doesn't? 4.02 tenths of a second.
So 402's the benchmark. Now, how will the fired ball stack up?
High speed ready?
Time for some pinball wizardry.
Here we go. Pinball shooter in 3, 2, 1.
And the results are flipping fabulous.
What do you got?
It's actually pretty cool. When I drop the ball from table height, it takes 402 milliseconds to reach the ground. When I shoot it from this pinball shooter, 410 milliseconds to reach the ground. It's 0.8% difference. That's pretty much identical.
With less than 1% difference, that's a pretty powerful result, and a provisional thumbs up for the myth. But Jamie's not impressed.
Okay, but I thought the story was about guns.
You really want to get to shooting guns?
Well, yeah.
Okay.